Hello, 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 welcome. It is me, ya boy. And I got my hat on today because we're doing politics. It's politics day. We're talking about politics today. I was busy upsetting everybody earlier. I'm still getting yelled at. Stop yelling at me. Okay, let's get started. I've been like I'm only like half organized right now. Excuse me if I'm a little bit all over the place. What the hell? Oh, that's I forgot. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I hope you guys like my dirt. I've got it set up right now so you can see the pothos plant has flipped over and it's gonna like start growing its way towards the window, which is nice. Are we here? Are we live? Did you guys get the notifications? Did we do it? Great success, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So I'm gonna try and do these in chronological order as of like May 12th. I've got this one from, when is this? May 4th. So this one's probably the, wait, when's this one from? Oh, this one's 13 days ago. So this was April. So we'll start with this one. This one's an article, sorry. This one's an article from CBC News. Let me shut this music off. Shut up! Nobody likes you. Haven't started yelling yet. Yeah, we're not yelling yet. We're not there yet. It'll take us a minute. We'll get there. But I heard that... Alright, here we go. Yoink. So this was a CBC... move this over here and move that over there. There we go. That's better. Oh, there. Now everything's in its usual spot. Let's make it so you guys can see this okay. Is that better? Okay, this one's a CBC thing for Elections Alberta. So let's hit play and see what the hell is going on with this. Let me turn the volume up so we can hear it and see what's going on.
Elections Alberta says there was an alleged misuse of what it describes as an extremely sensitive electors database. It contains personal information of millions of voters. In court earlier today, a judge granted an injunction ordering the Separatist group that posted the list to pull it down. The CBC's Sam Sampson is working on the story for us from our Edmonton bureau. And Sam, we're learning more details as the day progresses. What more can you tell?
So basically, this group of Alberta separatists got a bunch of people's that like got the data for the people that were on their side, quote unquote, and then put all their information out. Because of course they did. Since when are any of these things ever secure?
We are learning more about what is exactly in that voters list. So millions of voters' information is on that list that was published publicly. And so we're talking full names, addresses, phone numbers, voting areas. CBC News has viewed the database and also reached out to the organization that posted it online. And that organization's purpose is to support Alberta separation. So if we back up here.
So a group got this information and then posted it publicly, not because all of these people were voting for separation, but the separatists put all of these people's information out utilizing this database. Sounds like an attempt at blackmail. It kind of does.
Elections Alberta is the nonpartisan independent office in Alberta that is responsible for administering elections. And so it clarified the kind of leak that we're talking about. It's not as though their database was breached or its website was breached. It's because someone without approved access to this list obtained it from someone who legitimately did have access.
So basically, one of the Alberta separatist group people got the list from, or like, it's like a psyop. Not really. That's fucking, yeah, very, very unlawful data breach. Yeah, it's not like that. It's not an issue of security. It's not an issue of hacking. It's an issue of like somebody who legitimately had access, gave access to somebody who isn't supposed to have access, and then they took it and ran with it.
So court heard this morning that the list was legitimately obtained by the Republican Party of Alberta.
The Republican Party of Alberta legitimately got access to the list. So it wasn't even...
registered provincial party from 2022 that supports Alberta independence. And then court heard that the list was then accessed by a group called the Centurion Project. That is another organization.
The Centurion Project. Excuse me. The Centurion Project. Please tell me that that doesn't sound like it's fucking... Bro. Hold on. I've never heard of this group before. Of course, this is their picture. And then nothing else. And then nothing else. There's nothing here. It's empty. Oh my god, this is like, good lord. Was it given to them or stolen? Good question. Well, I mean, would it surprise you that the Alberta Republican group gave this list to people that were gonna do sketchy shit with it? Yeah. No. A separatist organization led by David Parker was the center of a major data breach involving an unauthorized use of Alberta's list of electors.
That supports Alberta independence. Court also heard it's unclear just how the Centurion Project obtained the list from.
Yeah, so it's not confirmed about whether or not the Centurion group stole the list or if they were just given the list or whatever. Is Pierre Poilievre going to apologize? No. Yeah, losers is a good way to like, you call yourself the Centurion Project and you're about separatist stuff and you're racist as shit, but people are gonna, like, just call yourself losers.
From the Republican Party of Alberta. Normally, to give you a context of the seriousness of this, Elections Alberta doesn't normally tell the public, first of all, when it's investigating something, but what it's investigating. But they do want Albertans to know that they are looking into this because of the seriousness and the sensitivity of the information. So let's take a look at what they said specifically this morning. Normally, elections are due to the extremely sensitive nature of the information contained in the list of electors, we believe it is critical for Albertans to be aware. Elections Alberta is taking every possible action to determine if this has taken place, and if so, to protect and recover the information. As I mentioned, CBC News has reached out to both of the separatist groups that we mentioned there. We also learned from Edmonton Police that Elections Alberta asked officers to serve documents at a Centurion Project event last night.
So they've gotten fucking documents served to them now. Yeah, there's an injunction. Yes, this is from April 30th. So this is before the injunction, yeah.
And as you mentioned, a Court of King's Bench judge granted an injunction to try to get that list pulled from the internet.
And Sam, why is Elections Alberta raising this concern now?
Well, it actually got an anonymous tip that alerted it to the database, and then investigators became really worried about a YouTube video that showed people how to search the database. So investigators logged in themselves and found that database, and court heard that they used something called salted names to try to link who was responsible for this. So these salted names are actually fake names that are included in every approved list that goes out to legitimate parties.
Oh.
That way, if there is a breach or a leak,
Oh, it's that thing where all of our individual things have a fake bit of information in it, so when the information goes out, we know who leaked it because only that version had that information. Yeah. Topical. Appropriate. So in case it's unclear, if you want to talk about Native American First Nations people, First Nations people are their own nation and exists side by side with Canada.
Investigators can search the database, find the fake names, and try to link it to the group that's been approved to have the list. So court heard this morning, investigators used that tactic to link the database to the electoral list legitimately provided, once again, to the Republican Party of Alberta. They got it legitimately last summer. I do have to reiterate it.
They're doing so much to make sure that everybody knows that that the Republican Alberta group got the list through proper means, and then through them it got leaked. Well, it was leaked, but like they put it out on purpose.
It is unclear how the Centurion Project obtained the list from the Republican Party of Alberta.
Sam, thank you. The CBC's Sam Sampson in Edmonton.
Wompity wompity womp. All right, so there's like that bit of news. So the next one is, this one is from 9 days ago. This one's called, from a channel called Guard the Leaf. So I want to see what this is about, because I was told to go and check all these out by some of the right-wing Canadians. Oh, Polar, you're telling TAC to read? We know these kids can't read. Come on. These people actually think that Canada was built not on the backs of people who are already living here. All right, let's go.
Okay, so have you ever wondered who's behind some of these videos that are constantly pushing the Alberta separation movement? It might not be who you think it is, and this report here from CBC, it lays out the raw details on who these guys are, and how fast the misinformation is spreading. Now, I don't normally cover this topic on my channel because I usually focus on the boycotts and tourism. But as a Canadian content creator, I feel it's my duty I need to spread this information. Because we do know for a fact that there's outside interference coming from the US administration, which makes these petitions that I'm featuring on my channel so much more important. So in this video, I'm going to talk about this report from CBC, and where these smear campaigns are actually coming from. And I'm also going to remind everybody about these two petitions on the right side of the screen, and why you...
I can hear the Canadian in this guy's voice. Holy moly. Yeah, I've never seen this guy before, but no, I don't think this is an AI voice. I think the accent, I don't think it's AI, dude.
need to sign them if you're Canadian. If you've never signed a petition before, this is where you're going to want to start. So let's get started right away because this report from CBC is quite long.
Why don't you just join our country and become the 51st state?
People are seriously underestimating how big this is.
Watching these videos...
People are not underestimating how big the fucking movement is for Alberta separatism. It's not that big. Even the number of, like, right-leaning people in Alberta isn't as big as it might seem.
You might think these Canadians want to join the U.S.
Western provinces moving towards a U.S.-aligned path has left Canada stunned.
But what if I told you most of these people aren't even really Canadian? We follow the digital clues to expose a web of hired actors and the people behind them.
How do you get my number?
To reveal a shadowy business model. Because whoever you think is behind it, the answer is going to surprise you.
I feel so violated. I think all of it's bullshit.
Now, I'm positive.
So, yeah, but I'm gonna pause here too, sorry, and then I'll let him go. Bro, bro, we know for a fact that both India and Russia and the United States have been buying up and spreading bullshit online through social media, right? So, for example, Chatham, right, having a vertical monopoly and controlling a lot of rural, newspapers, right? If you haven't, go look that up on my channel. You can go and check that out. Okay, so first up, this is a whole other conversation that this person is trying to have. You seem very emotionally upset already, and like we haven't even started yet. Can you calm down? So yeah, take a chill pill, breathe, it's okay. So we know that for a fact, right? We also know that there was interference related to Pierre Poilievre, both coming from India and Russia. We also know that Russia hates Canada, like a lot. And we also know that Canada is being attacked by the United States and targeted for like a divide and conquer sort of situation that includes attacks that are both economic as well as like military defense spending stuff, as well as like threats on NATO, yada yada yada. Just arrived and somebody's already crying. Bro, they came in here weeping. I haven't even said anything to them yet. Why'd you go and remind him to breathe? I thought he'd forget. Oh, that's funny. Oh, poor guy. Wow, they didn't last long. Going with straight up racism is a choice. Yeah, right? Not a good choice, but certainly a choice. Yeah, valid. Yeah, no, we're pro First Nations here, and I personally believe that our country has a lot to do to balance that out, and we need to be listening more to what they say that they need rather than imposing what we think they need, which is something that our government was doing previously. Hopefully we're rectifying that, but that's okay. Well, it's step by step, baby steps. The conservatives are always crying. I mean, why you gotta do this? I think I'm gonna have to subscribe to this channel though. I'm gonna smack that subscribe button. All right. So yeah, we know that this has been the case. We know that like Twitter accounts have been bought and like Russian like Twitter threads and stuff like that are like Russian bots, yada 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 yada. So it's that. Let's keep going.
On this ream on purpose because I know a lot of my haters are going to say, "Hey GTL, isn't this a little ironic since you're a faceless channel and you don't even?"
Being faceless is not, but yeah, no, he's correct. Being faceless does not mean what you're saying is not legitimate. It doesn't make you fake. What you're doing and whether or not you're actually a real person is what makes you fake.
Live in Canada right now. You live in Malaysia. And to be fair, I can understand that. But what I've done is I've done my best to make sure that everybody knows that I'm actually from Canada. I'm born and raised in Vancouver. I've been to Expo 86, and I'm still waiting for a damn Stanley Cup. But despite all of that, I am Canadian no matter what anyone says. And some people
you can be Canadian and live in a different part of the world. It's not a big deal.
Even say they can spot out my lower mainland accent. I didn't even know I had one. But there
are he's got one. I'm from Canada and I can hear his Canadian coming through. Damn.
And this Canadian YouTuber decides to stay anonymous. Now I know my subscribers know the reason why, but for anyone that's new to my channel, it's because of the safety reasons. Like many of you watching right now from Canada, we have connections in the United States, whether it's friends or family, and I have friends and family down there as well. But if for any reason any of my family or friends have a medical emergency, I will go down to the United States. That is the only exception I'm making. And if that day ever comes and my identity is revealed, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a good time for me at the CBP desk.
Yo, valid. Not wanting to, having to potentially travel to the United States while making this kind of content, yeah, no, being anonymous is totally valid.
Because I'm pretty sure I get the question, hey, you run the channel Guard the Leaf, and you call my president the Tangerine Tyrant, Mango Mussolini, Orange McNugget, Diaper Don.
Mango Mussolini? Alberta is leaving Canada? Oh yeah? All dozens of them? Are they gonna take their 10-pound, or their 10-gallon hat with them?
The list goes on. So I do hope you can see why I choose to stay anonymous. And unfortunately, if that's not okay with you, then that's fine. You can click off the video. I created this channel because I love my country. And what came out of it is a massive community. But these channels that you're going to see featured in this report, they're not here because they love Alberta. They're here for the money.
Yeah, the grifters.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what's going on in Canada, Alberta is a province that produces most of the country's crude oil, millions of barrels a day. This means Alberta pays a lot of money into the national budget, creating tensions that have led some Albertans to want to break away.
Independence is a matter of survival.
And this guy, this fucking lawyer, is the funniest dude, unironically. Like, he's so we've watched him like once or twice in interviews, like when they first cropped up, we looked at them. And oh my god, this guy looks like constantly, like, look at his face. He looks so paranoid, like his eyes. He's like, oh my god, this guy makes me laugh every time.
For Albertans, we have to get out from underneath Ottawa if we're going to prosper and move forward as a country.
And the Trump administration likes the idea.
Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S. Rumor that they may have a referendum on whether they want to stay in Canada or not.
Rumor.
This Scott Percent guy, he's got a very punchable face. But what he just said is the reason why the petition that I'm going to show later is so important for all Canadians to sign. If you haven't signed it yet, I highly encourage you to do it.
So it's a real thing, and that might be why the sentiment is being exploited online. A report from the Media Ecosystem Observatory highlighted what it calls slopaganda, 20 YouTube channels that contain frequent and obvious lies and are
Yeah, Porler makes a good point. Real smart for a landlocked province to think they'll leave Canada. I am curious if you think that Alberta is going to leave, or you are an Alberta separatist. First off, I have a couple questions for you. First question: are you from Alberta? That's my first question. Right? Do you live there? Are you from Alberta, or have you like grown up in Alberta? Right. Second question is, what's the policy? What's Alberta's policy going to be? What currency are you going to use? What's your policy for exporting your oil? How are you going to defend yourself? What's the policy in your deals for military? What's that going to look like? These are my questions.
Designed to exploit political divisions.
We looked at 20 specific and authentic channels that are coordinated together, and amongst them, they got 40 million views in the past 12 months.
That's 40 million
sounds about
views
right.
to people who are going to get misinformation. If you've been around my channel, you know I can't stand AI channels. You know, the ones that have like generic backgrounds of like scenery and an AI voice speaking. I can't stand them because the information that's being spewed out cannot be verified. I mean, you could put out a prompt that basically says, create a script that makes the Alberta separation movement look really big. And
yeah, there's a problem. This is a YouTube problem. I really hope this gets fixed in the future. I think it'll be a little while before. How is the wheat or canola getting to the market? Yeah, how are you, if you're from Alberta, what's the plan for exporting anything? Oil, canola oil, wheat, anything that you're producing. How are you going to do this? This is like disregarding like the legal trouble and the amount of Alberta that Alberta doesn't actually own, right? This is like disregarding that. Assuming that Alberta can do what it wants to do from a legal standpoint and is like all gung-ho and ready to go, and let's say everybody in Alberta wants to separate from Canada, how are you going to function? I have yet to have a single person who supports this movement be able to explain how their new country is going to fucking function. And I think they don't... It can't survive. One, there's not enough people. Two, they don't own enough of the land. Three, they have no way of defending themselves. Every argument that you've heard against Quebec separation in the last, 40 years is even more applicable because at least Quebec has access to the ocean. Either through the most northern part of Quebec or through the St. Lawrence River. At least there's that. I low-key, there's been a couple of times where I've just been like, maybe let them separate and then we'll just go conquer them. I don't know. What stops anybody from just conquering Alberta? One, leaving Canada. Two, question mark, three, profit. This is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. They would have to trade with the United States. Of course they would have to trade with the United States, but what does that look like? What does that mean? How? And how are you gonna, how? Fiefdom. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
make the numbers a lot bigger as well. I don't know, something like that. But my point is that whether the channel is...
hold on. We're gonna ramp up to 10 million barrels of oil per day and create the fairyland we are all dreaming about. At least that's what our great leader says. You're going to the promised land, are you? Covered with milk and honey and oil.
AI, like 100% AI. Or they have a hired voiceover. There is a lot of misinformation going on out there, and people are believing things that are not true. I'm still getting people sending me AI videos via email, telling me to review this one. And the second I click on it, I see it's AI, I close it. Same thing with the Alberta Separatists AI videos as well. I know it's getting tougher and tougher to determine what is real and what's not.
Yeah.
And in my videos, I always give the sources that I use in my videos, whether it's an article or whether it's a video.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that we need to be more careful these days on what we believe is real and what is not.
The video network itself is very deceptive. They use the same scripts, the same phrasing, the same titles.
This channel is built on freedom of expression. All content is created for informational and educational purposes.
Oh God, cringe! No!
They just plainly fabricate statistics such as polls supporting separatism, annexation, taking advantage of real grievances Albertans have to drive clicks engagement to the channel.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Alberta does have legitimate things to complain about. I would recommend that people in Alberta who have these legitimate complaints should consider that a lot of the complaints that they're making are actually provincial issues, not federal issues, and they should consider how long the Conservatives have been in power complaining about these things that they have the power to change but never do for some reason.
Now, I'm going to go into a little bit on this because I do have a bit of experience with it since I have a channel.
Yeah.
But you're going to have a couple categories when it comes to content creators. You're going to have ones that are passionate about what they're doing, whether it's travel, whether it's finance, whether it's gaming or any other industry, even news and politics. These creators are passionate about what they built, and I consider myself one of these ones. I mean, I love what I do. I like creating videos and I like communicating with the community. But then you get guys like this, my copycat. If you've been around my channel since last year, you know about this guy. This guy literally stole my channel, the thumbnails, the videos, the scripts, and it was so similar to my channel that some of the viewers actually thought they were watching my video when they were on his channel. That's how close.
Oh my God, really? That's crazy.
It was. And when I started calling him out, the guy actually emailed me saying that he used my channel as inspiration. He's also a fellow Canadian and he wants to do the same thing as well. I knew right away from his email that he was not Canadian, just by the way he was typing and speaking. And if you look here, one of his social accounts that he was using, the account was based in Pakistan. So this is my warning to everybody that any channel that you see on YouTube that claim to be from Canada or about Canada or for Canada, there's a possibility that they may not even be Canadian at all. And they're just using AI to generate their scripts. And all.
Oh yeah, half of the Conservatives who have come in the side chat while I've been talking about Canadian politics and positions who are bitching and speaking as speaking about Canadian politics are not Canadian most of the time. It's like to the surprise of nobody. Surprise, surprise. You can have, but to be fair, you can have opinions and about a place that you're not from. Like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But LARPing is like a little bit silly, especially when you're LARPing just to whine and complain.
For the clicks, to be honest.
But we wanted to find out who's actually behind these channels.
So we go down the rabbit hole and find the truth about some of these accounts.
Our first clue was the X account.
Slopaganda! Did you see that shit?
Find the truth about some of these accounts.
Wait. Who's behind Alberta's slopaganda? Because it's AI slop. AI slop propaganda. That's fucking so funny. Yo, CBC's got jokes. Oh, wonderful. Oh, no, I didn't notice the slopaganda earlier. That's
Our
funny.
first clue was the X accounts linked to these YouTube channels. 2 of them were created while connected to the Netherlands App Store, pretty far from Alberta. We zero in on this account, the Canadian Politician.
Hello and welcome to the Canadian Politician, your trusted source for sharp analysis and updates on the latest developments in Canadian politics.
All right, X to doubt.
We reverse image search and find James is really Matt Berry, a Calgary-based media personality.
I was just kind of
Hey, at least he's from Calgary.
just applying it for a bunch of different gigs. The idea was that was like $20 a video to start, and then he was gonna like monetize. So what happened was I sent this audition video, but we never came to any actual agreement. I never actually like signed a contract.
What are you thinking when we reveal this to you?
My heart sank. You must be talking
What? So, wait, hold on.
about the wrong person. This is not stuff I believe.
He shares.
So this guy here, he applied for a job on Upwork, didn't know what it was for, and now he's the face of the Alberta separation, or at least one of the faces. What I don't get is that this guy actually literally made the video for them. He's got the script, and yet he says he doesn't believe in what they're saying. I mean, wouldn't you think to push back after you got the script and say, hey, I'm not supporting this. No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, no, hold on, I'm confused. Was he recording these videos, or did they steal his likeness and put it into an AI to just develop the videos?
I don't know. This was just something I noticed. But this segment here really shows that whoever you're seeing on the screen right now might be a paid actor. and they may have no idea what's going on with the actual Alberta separation movement.
A Google Doc with information about the job. It's owned by someone who used an email address that includes the name Don Jurgers.
Using DarkSide, a tool for searching databases leaked online.
We connect that email to social media accounts for a Don Jurgers in the Netherlands, who works as a sports journalist. So we call him.
Oh my god.
Don?
Yes, with who am I speaking?
Yeah, my name is Eric Cito. I'm a journalist at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I just want to make sure we're with the right person here. You are the same person that has been contracting people to make YouTube videos. Is it the right Don?
Yes.
Oh.
How do you get my number?
Oh, it's done online.
Okay, sorry, then that's my mistake.
Oh, it's okay. Well, listen, I want to just learn about the contracts for the YouTube channels and stuff and just kind of get an understanding how it works, if you have a second.
Yeah, let's just contact through another way, because it's kind of weird that you're calling me out of the blue.
Why is it odd?
You contact
Oh my god. Oh, amazing. So, for anybody supporting the Alberta Separatist movement, are you embarrassed now?
Again, and he denies any involvement, saying what he said on the phone was a misunderstanding.
So you can see here, a guy who was running an Alberta separation channel was from the Netherlands, not even from Canada or Alberta. And whoever this guy was, it wasn't a misunderstanding. He just got caught.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that was not a misunderstanding. He legit got caught. He just got straight up busted. Basically, that's like when you call a spammer back at their own, at their own phone number. That's what just happened. Holy moly.
But that's not the only connection we make to people in the Netherlands. This is a channel called Canadian Hub, hosted by someone named Paul.
Hello there. My name is Paul, your reliable
Paul.
reporter for in-depth analysis and updates on the latest Canadian news.
We find us.
Hey, listen, bro, if somebody comes out and immediately says that they're reliable and they're trustworthy and that's the first thing they say, you should immediately be suspicious about them. Oh, no.
TikTok account and learn he's a voice actor.
Hey, I'm going live here in just a minute. Check it out.
Then we use the sign at the back of this video that says Rush Memorial Hospital and geolocate him to the US in Indiana.
Ooh.
Can I ask you how much they would pay you for each video?
The first couple he paid me $60 for. But right now,
So they're literally just out there scalping. Well, they're literally out there just finding people to pay them to make scripts to record and then send. What are they sending them back? What are Alberta Separatists? I'm gonna ask you to say that again, really slowly back to yourself. Alberta Separatists. What do you think they are?
I'm pretty much thinking I'm not going to do any more of these because I don't want to be a part of that. I'm in Indiana. I don't know anything about Canadian politics.
Was there any indication that the people you're speaking to that were contracting you, were they Dutch?
That's very possible.
Now again, same with this guy. He was paid $60 to do a voiceover for a video, with the topic being on the Alberta separation. But now he says he doesn't want to do it anymore because he doesn't want to be a part of it. But again, I don't understand how you can say that you don't want to be a part of it when you're given the script and you know exactly what the video is going to be about. So the question I
have a question about that, but then again, I'm also now asking the question, did they then take their voice, replicate it to make more videos, right? Oh, okay. You're not a native English. Okay, a separatist is somebody who is... an Alberta separatist is trying to leave... No, Alberta is not a Canadian city. Alberta is a Canadian province. So it is... A city would be like where people live. Province is like the whole thing. So, like, people are wanting the province to leave Canada. So Alberta, the province, leaving the country of Canada. That's what an Alberta separatist is.
have for my viewers right now, if this guy didn't get called out on it, do you think he would continue these voiceovers? My guess is yes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Is this like something that they are only stopping doing now that they got caught doing it by the CBC? I wonder.
I want to hear what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below.
He sends us chats with someone who goes by Marijn Masseus on Discord. We match that name and a profile photo to a man in the Netherlands named Marijn Masseus. He calls himself a digital creator. We contact Marijn over email, and he also denies any involvement. But there's one more person we find connected to the scheme. Not only does he admit it, he leads us into the murky world of faceless YouTube.
Ooh. Oh.
In this video series, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a profitable, scalable, and fully automated YouTube business in just 90 days without ever showing.
Alright, well, maybe YouTube should do something about that. Maybe YouTube should do a thing and clamp down on this garbage.
Your face on camera.
That's Niels Vanderland. He runs the online course Faceless Education, which promises to teach people how to make thousands of dollars every month with faceless YouTube videos.
Now, for those of you who don't know the industry, there's thousands of these different courses that are offered online, claiming that you
Should we try it? Should we try and do one? Do you guys want to try to do one?
You can make thousands of dollars. And when people take these courses, what they're going to do is they're going to find a niche that is hot. And right now, anything to do with Diaper Dawn, or the Alberta separation, or the current geopolitical climate is a hot topic. So what's going to come out of that? More of these AI slop channels, and channels like these ones where they hire voiceovers that are spewing out false garbage. And they do this all for the ad revenue. Now, I'm not afraid to admit it, I do make some money on this channel. It's nowhere near enough for me to quit my job.
There's nothing wrong with making money on YouTube, that's fine.
But it's nice to have a little bit of extra income. I don't need to have 1 million subscribers. I don't need to have like 1 million views per video. The GTL community is slowly growing, and I prefer to have that grow. Versus the clicks, the views, and the revenue. But these faceless channels and the ones that hire voiceovers, all they care about is the views and the clicks. They don't care about the content that they're putting out. They don't care that the content that they're putting out is fake. All they want you to do is click on the video. And it's not to say that it's only these content creators that are doing it. There's plenty of them out there.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I feel different about my channel. And from the hundreds of people I met, and those that I now talk to on a daily basis, I'm more excited to get caught up with these people and how their day are going versus seeing my ad revenue. So while we go through this next segment, I want you to understand and realize that a lot of these channels that we're seeing right now, they may not be from Canada. And I want you to understand what their motives are.
It's big business. There are hundreds, if not thousands of courses and guides online, all promising the same thing. Making money with videos that you don't have to appear in, using actors or AI. And we find that 2 people behind these channels took the same course, hosted by Niels. It starts with Bart Crane.
Oh, that's funny.
Another American actor, hired to be the face of a channel called David Fraser YT.
For years, Alberta was told to sit down, stay quiet, and accept the system. Suddenly,
it is literally not true.
that same system is saying something very different. Now they want to talk. Now they want negotiations.
We know he's the actor behind it because he reveals it on his Snapchat.
You guys go. You can see what YouTube pays.
How many videos do you think you've done with them?
So they sent me 2 more for tomorrow, which would be episodes 232 and 233.
So these guys are doing 200, between 2 and 500 of these videos. Unreal.
So 230 videos you've done.
We put out video after video about separation. Why are 9 out of our 10 videos on the main page about Canadian separation? That was what I brought up to them. How many channels do you guys actually run? That's when I texted you back. They said, we are not a part of misinformation campaign. At the moment, we have 12 channels running.
Yeah.
We're not a part of a misinformation campaign, but we have 12 channels putting out misinformation. Unbelievable. Yeah, if you do have questions, there's like, we're a pretty eclectic channel we have a pretty eclectic viewership and people are around from all over the place. So, feel free if you're a little bit lost in the sauce, to just ask.
Not a part of misinformation campaign. That's about as believable as anything that comes out of the Diaper Don's mouth. But you can see here, this is a business for whoever these guys are. They got 12 channels, all spreading misinformation.
He shared his chats with a Discord channel called MJY Trading, who signs off as Joop Liquor. We find that Joop is the CEO of MJY Trading, a Dutch company. He describes its business model as faceless YouTube videos. Interesting.
Bro, why are the Dutch messing with us? Stop. We like you guys. Why you being mean?
But that's not all. We find this review that Yoop made for Neil's Faceless Education course. He says he went from making no money to living off his YouTube income. That leads us to the Faceless Education YouTube channel. And guess who we find?
Ik ben Joep, ik ben 25 jaar
Oh,
oud. Het is wel echt
no.
levensveranderend geweest. Dus, want uiteindelijk heb ik daar ook mijn baan kunnen opzeggen bij KPMG.
When we reach out to Yoop, he tells us they are not affiliated with political movements,
You are!
advocacy groups, or campaigns related to independence, and that the YouTube channels are focused on generating revenue.
See, that's all it is to them. It's all about revenue. They don't care what information they're putting
Yeah, why are so many of them Dutch? What is this?
out. And it frustrates me because I'm a content creator that is trying to bring Canada together. And then you have these guys from the Netherlands trying to drive a wedge through Canada just for the AdSense revenue. I really wish our Canadian government, YouTube, and even the Netherlands government would do something about this. But unfortunately for us regular folks, there's not much we can do right now. The only thing we can do is not click on their videos and sign the petition that I'm going to show at the end of the video and hope our Canadian government does something about this. But I do.
Yeah, there's something that is interesting about that. Is like, what can you do about this? And realistically, at the end of the day, what needs to happen is if YouTube's not going to do anything about it, because it's fucking YouTube, they don't care. YouTube cares because YouTube is getting ad revenue out of it, so YouTube benefits from this system, so there's no reason to fucking bother. But what can Canada do? You've got two options. Well, the Netherlands could do something. What can the Netherlands do? What can Canada do? And the answer is the same thing that Canada did to Facebook, which basically killed Facebook in Canada, which was you need to pay journalists for their work. So if you're sharing a link on Facebook, Facebook needs to take responsibility for that link, right? So it would have to be something like YouTube is responsible for legally responsible for misinformation on YouTube. That's what both governments could do. They could put in a law that's related to that. Propaganda online is way too prevalent to all topics. Yes, there's a lot of that. AI is making it worse. They can also target AI and make laws based on the usages of AI and what can be do. You killed Facebook in Canada. Yeah, Facebook is almost like Facebook is barely functioning in Canada anymore. Like, it only like the worst bullshit, like nonsense is on Facebook anymore. Because like it got, like a couple of years ago, there was a law that went through that made Facebook responsible for misinformation on its platform, and like that it was responsible for like if you're going to share or be a platform for people to get news, you're responsible as a news organization and things like that. So
I do have a question for our viewers from the Netherlands. Do you guys have any laws in your country that have to do with like misinformation or smear campaigns? Because it would be interesting to see if we can get something started.
Now we've connected the Faceless Education course to Dutchman Joep Licker, who hired American actor Bart Kraning to be the face of a YouTube channel promoting Alberta separatism. Joep isn't the only person we find that took this course. We also find Marijn Massoes.
Ik ben Marijn, ik ben 21 jaar oud. Ik studeer nog ondernemerschap en retail management.
They're in it to make a quick buck. There's no indication that governments are interested in regulating that kind of activity at all. But big question is what happens when the proponents actually don't have any skin in the game whatsoever.
Yeah, there's a reason why they're making content that is going to, like, doesn't affect their own country, right?
Who's sitting in the Netherlands developing these videos that are trying to promote Alberta leaving Canada has no personal stake in whether the separatists succeed or fail.
And to be honest, they have succeeded.
No, it was a law that was specifically about YouTube, about Facebook conduct. I'll have to go find it. I'm not gonna be able to do it right now, but I'll see if I can go find it for you after stream.
It's to the point where the U.S. government thinks that there is a solid movement because of all of these videos. I mean,
Yeah. They've tricked the United States government. Like, to be clear, these videos are not affecting the law in Canada. It's not making Alberta separatism bigger in Canada, right? It's tricking the United States government. It's like it's not affecting Canada in the way that you might think. It's annoying, but it's not really doing what it might make you think. Like I said, you'll notice that most of the people who have come into this channel during these live streams on Thursdays, when I've done them in the past, conservatives that are in here to troll, or they say they're conservative, or they're just in here to troll around, aren't Canadian. They're the people that are telling me to go and check out these fucking videos, most of the time aren't even Canadians. Online News Act, Bill C-18. Thank you. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. It also gives separatists, yeah, and all it does is like create a negative feedback loop of the separatists. But those are people that are already made up their mind in that direction, right? It's not really, the number of people that is pulling in that are new is not very high.
Guy's face in the US. He believes that there's a strong movement because of all these videos. So if he thinks it, how many others in the United States are thinking this as well? But not only in the US, but our country as well.
And that can make them really dangerous actors.
People are seeing these videos and view that as real news from real people. It's shocking, but it's not surprising. I think.
Why, bro? Then why are you doing this? For a quick buck, or pretend that you're not?
That's like sort of a world we're living in right now.
So for now, at least, it looks like that's the answer. Not Russia, not China, or the US, but YouTubers trying to make money. If there's anything you want us to investigate, email us at vi@cbc.ca.
From the Netherlands, apparently.
Now, for those who are visually impaired or just listening, I'm going to read out the captions for you. Faceless Education told CBC, there's no political component to what we teach, and the model has nothing to do with influencing political opinions or divisions.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. When you do this and you're hiring these actors, there is money going in from somewhere. So is all of the money they're making solely coming from YouTube? And I would suspect not. I don't think that that's true. No, I don't think he believes it either. He's just reading out what's on screen. I'm not disagreeing with him. I'm disagreeing with, I think their statement is bullshit, is what I'm saying.
Next caption. YouTube says it doesn't allow spam or deceptive practices that take advantage of YouTube community. Several of the accounts investigated by CBC are no longer available on YouTube.
They're no longer available on YouTube because the CBC fucking exposed them, though. It's like, what are you talking about?
Now, this report from CBC kind of hits close to home for me, because I've been dealing with copycats and people trying to take my content. And whether it's about the Alberta separation or people stealing my content, it's all about the same thing. It's all about the money. Bottom line is they just want you to click on their video, because every time you click on their video, they're going to get money. So what can we do about this? Well, the only thing I can say is, any video that looks like it's going to be AI, or anything that has to do with Alberta separation, don't click on their video. And you can even report their video saying that it's misinformation. The more people that do that, hopefully YouTube will see it. But in reality, there's not a lot that we can do as citizens.
Yeah, it's not the most you can do as just like a viewer is to actually be informed. So actually be informed, as opposed to watching like what you're watching right now with me, having looked at the actual content ahead of time. So like form your opinions based off of what the original source is telling you, not what a commenter is saying.
But what we can do is bring it to the attention to our government. And these two petitions that I've been featuring on my channel, the one on the left, the TLDR for it is basically to have ICE and Homeland Security off of our soil, because we can't trust them these days. I mean, bottom line. I believe when I started
valid
featuring this petition, it was about 1,400 or maybe 1,300 signatures. It's now at 2,819. But the petition on the right side is the one I want to talk about, and it's numbered E-7340, because it relates exactly to what CBC reported, outside interference. Because whether it's the United States government or these dipshit YouTubers from the Netherlands, who are basically claiming it has nothing to do with...
Yo, oh my god, this guy's so Canadian, these dipshit YouTubers. It's so Canadian. I hate that one can't even dislike a video because that still adds traction and rewards the uploader. Yeah, it's bad. YouTube really needs to fix some of I'm not even convinced that YouTube can fix it because of the way they integrated the algorithm with Google. So I think it might just be royally fucked. Like, it might not be unfuckable, if you know what I mean.
With influencing political opinions or divisions. Whether they like it or not, it's happening. And it is causing real damage. So if you are Canadian and you can't stand what I just showed you in this entire video,
yeah, I would recommend you can do the reporting for misinformation, and I would also recommend clicking like the do not like don't show this channel, don't like this, like don't recommend this channel.
I highly encourage you to sign petition 7340. I have reached out to both Elizabeth May and Don Davies to see if they would like to discuss their petition on my channel, but I haven't heard back from either one of them yet. And the autoresponder that was sent back says that they prioritize people that are in their riding. So if any of our viewers are in the Spanish Gulf Islands or Vancouver Kingsway, and Elizabeth May or Don Davies is your MLA, tell them I'm looking for them. Now, if you're still here, I know this has been a bit of a longer video, but it's something that really kind of hits home for me, I guess. Being a creator for like a year, which is not that long.
Not long.
I can understand the tactics that these guys are using. And it's all for the views. I know I can get a lot more views. I can go the clickbait route. With the titles and the descriptions, having those reaction faces and claims that are not true. Like Canada.
Yeah, no, I get this. It's a pain in the ass. It makes making good content and like valuable content really frustrating because that's a lot harder and takes a long time and you get buried in slop. Yes, correct.
Canada has done a deal when they have not. I don't mind sharing this. That would probably increase my views by about 25%. But I'm not going to do that because it's not the truth. And it's not in my values to deceive you guys. I can't speak for other creators. I mean, you know, what they do with their channel is their responsibility. But when I say the GTL community means more to me than the revenue, I really do mean it. I would not be doing live streams or interviews or trying to get MLAs on my channel if it were for the money.
Yeah, valid. Yeah, no, I liked that. That was a good video. Thank you. I kind of want to watch the full CBC report, but another day. Another day. So the next one we have about Alberta separatism is this one from May 4th. But before we do that, I'm gonna get some more to drink. So I'll be back in one moment. BRB. You're correct, that is Banjo-Kazooie music. It is Mumbo Mountain, specifically from the first game. Thank you for joining us, alright. Should have listened to the message of a Bug's Life movie. Oh yeah. Are you talking about Hopper? Fucking based Hopper? Yo, you right? Okay. Exposing fake Canadians pushing to join the United States. Alright. You guys ready?
Join our country, you become the 51st state.
People are seriously underestimating how big this is.
Watching these videos, you might think these Canadians want to join the US.
Western provinces moving towards a US-aligned path has left Canada stunned.
Oh. Hey, it's the video that I said I wanted to watch.
If I told you most of these people aren't even really Canadian, we follow the digital clues to expose a web of hired actors and the people behind them.
How do you get my number?
To reveal a shadowy business model, because whoever you think is behind it, the answer is going to surprise you.
I feel so violated. I think all of it's bullshit.
I don't know if you deserve to feel violated, dude.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what's going on in Canada, Alberta is a province that produces most of the country's crude oil, millions of barrels a day. This means Alberta pays a lot of money into the national budget, creating tensions that have led some Albertans to want to break away.
Independence is a matter of survival for Albertans. We have to get out from underneath Ottawa if we're going to prosper and move forward as a country.
And the Trump administration likes the idea.
Alberta is a natural partner for the U.S. Rumored that they may have a referendum on whether they want to stay in
That's Scott Bessent, right? I'm pretty sure that's Scott Bessent.
Canada or not.
So it's a real thing, and that might be why the sentiment is being exploited online. A report from the Media Ecosystem Observatory highlighted what it calls slopaganda, 20 YouTube channels that contain frequent and obvious lies and are designed to exploit political divisions.
We looked at
Oh, there you go.
20 specific and authentic channels that are coordinated together, and amongst them they got 40 million views in the past 12 months. The video network itself is very deceptive. They use the same scripts, the same phrasing, the same titles.
This channel is built on freedom of expression. All content is created for informational and educational purposes.
They just...
I like that they were gonna say something like that and say like a bunch of shit that makes no fucking... Where was Canada's first oil boom? I don't know. Where was Canada's first oil boom? History of petroleum from Wikipedia? Arctic? Early uses of petroleum. Sarnia, Ontario. According to Wikipedia. According to Wikipedia, it was Sarnia. Near Sarnia. In 1851.
Plainly fabricate statistics such as polls supporting.
Why did Alberta kill wind farms instead of diversifying its economy? Yeah, so this is a good question, and this is a question for provincial government, not federal government. This is a provincial government issue. So you tell me why the Conservatives, who have been running Alberta for an incredibly long period of time, did not diversify and went into oil tycoons. And then you can also tell me why the leader of the Conservative Party was visiting Texas recently to talk to oil tycoons in Texas. And then you can tell me why Danielle Smith has been doing the exact same thing.
Separatism, annexation, taking advantage of real grievances Albertans have to drive clicks engagement to the channel.
But we wanted to find out who's actually behind these channels.
So we go down the rabbit hole and find the truth about some of these accounts.
Our first clue was the X accounts linked to these YouTube channels. 2 of them were created while connected to the Netherlands App Store, pretty far from Alberta. We zero in on this account, the Canadian Politician.
Hello and welcome to the Canadian Politician, your trusted source for sharp analysis and updates on the latest developments in Canadian politics.
We reverse image search and find James is really Matt Berry, a Calgary-based media personality.
I was just applying it for a bunch of different gigs. The idea was that was like $20 a video to start, and then he was gonna like monetize. So what happened was I sent this audition video, but we never came to any actual agreement. I never actually like signed a contract.
What are you thinking when we reveal this to you?
My heart sank. You must be talking about the wrong person. This is not stuff I believe.
He shares a Google Doc with information about the job. It's owned by someone who used an email address that includes the name Don Jurgers.
Using DarkSide, a tool for searching databases leaked online.
We connect that email to social media accounts for a Don Jurgers in the Netherlands, who works as a sports journalist. So we call him.
This call is hilarious.
Am I speaking?
Yeah, my name is Eric Cito. I'm a journalist at the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I just want to...
This is how I know that this call is the main reason why I'm calling bullshit that these guys are just doing it to make money just from YouTube. No, we're not rewatching it. This is the actual full CBC one.
Make sure we're with the right person here.
I'm gonna replay the call
though.
though.
The same person that has been contracting people to make YouTube videos. Is it the right Don?
Yes.
Oh.
How do you get my number?
Oh, we just found online.
Okay, sorry, then that's my mistake.
Oh, it's okay. Well, listen, I want to just learn about the contracts for the YouTube channels and stuff, and just kind of get an understanding how it works. If you have a second.
Yeah, let's just contact through another way because it's kind of weird that you're calling me out of the blue.
Why is it odd?
We contact Don.
Because this is what I mean. They know they're affecting politics, and they know it's part of a propaganda machine that's making money, and I have a hard time believing that they're not getting the money to initially do these channels in the first place from somewhere else. Because they're paying these actors, right? Which means they have to have some money to begin with to start the channels, right? Yeah, these guys are everybody's getting paid here. Everybody's making money.
He denies any involvement, saying
everyone is making money but me.
What he said on the phone was a misunderstanding. But that's not the only connection we make to people in the Netherlands. This is a channel called Canadian Hub, hosted by someone named Paul.
Hello there. My name is Paul, your reliable reporter for in-depth analysis and updates on the latest Canadian news.
We find his TikTok account and learn he's a voice actor.
Hey, I'm going live here in just a minute. Check it out.
Then we use the sign at the back of this video that says Rush Memorial Hospital and geolocate him to the US, in Indiana.
Can I ask you how much they would pay you for each video?
The first couple he paid me $60 for.
Yeah, so if you're paying $60, even $20 a video, and then you make 200 videos, You're talking about some actual money that is not coming from YouTube. That money has to be coming from somewhere. So where is that money coming from, right? That's the next step in trailing this, right? Because if you're, let's do the math real quick for a second. Let's say you do 200 videos and you're multiplying that by $60 per video. That's 12 grand. So some of the money comes from YouTube, but how long? It takes time for a channel to get monetized. It takes time for that money to come through, and you're not going to have it right away, which means you have to have enough of a starting fund of money to start with, right? So where is that coming from? I did start yearly for my Patreon. It should be on. It should be there.
But right now, I'm pretty much thinking I'm not going to do any more of these because I don't want to be a part of that. I'm in Indiana. I don't know anything about Canadian politics.
Was there any indication that the people you're speaking to that were contracting you, were they Dutch?
That's very possible.
He sends us chats with someone who goes by Marijn Masseus on Discord. We match that name and a profile photo to a man in the Netherlands named Marijn Masseus. He calls himself a digital creator.
Yeah, like look at that. He's got 18. You see that? He's got like 18 followers.
Marijn Masseus.
Right, he's got 18 followers. He's following 3. Like these people aren't people that you would think like they're not personalities. They're not people that already have this money cashed away somewhere. So where is the initial funding coming from?
A digital creator. We contact Marijn over email, and he also denies any involvement. But there's one more person we find connected to the scheme. Not only does he admit it, he leads us into the murky world of faceless YouTube.
In this video series, I'm going to show you exactly how you can build a profitable, scalable, and fully automated YouTube business in just 90 days, without ever showing your face on camera.
That's Niels Vanderland. He runs the online course Faceless Education, which promises to teach people how to make thousands of dollars every month with faceless YouTube videos. It's big business. There are hundreds, if not thousands of courses and guides online, all promising the same thing. Making money with videos that you don't have to appear in, using actors or AI. And we find that 2 people behind these channels took the same course, hosted by Niels. It starts with Bart Craning, another American actor.
It reminds me of like, it reminds me of Andrew Tate's university.
Hired to be the face of a channel called David Fraser YT.
For years, Alberta was told to sit down.
Oh, also, by the way, these Americans are douchebags. By the way, the Americans doing this are fucking douchebags, and they can go fuck themselves, and they should be banned from ever even entering the country.
Stay quiet and accept the system. Suddenly, that same system is saying something very different. Now they want to talk. Now they want negotiations.
We know he's the actor behind it because he reveals it on his Snapchat.
Here you guys go. You can see what YouTube pays.
How many videos do you think you've done with them?
So they sent me 2 more for tomorrow, which would be episodes 232 and 233.
So 230 videos you've done.
We put out video after video about separation. Why are 9 out of our 10 videos on the main page about Canadian separation? That was what I brought up to them. How many
Look at, like, as soon as they fucking get confronted with this, they all start pretending like they're not fucking political grifters.
channels do you guys actually run? That's when I texted you back. They said, we are not a part of misinformation campaign. At the moment, we have 12 channels running.
He shared his chats with a Discord channel called MJY Trading, who signs off as Joep Licker. We find that Joep is the CEO of MJY Trading, a Dutch company. He describes its business model as faceless YouTube videos. Interesting, but that's not all. We find this review that Joep made for Niels' Faceless Education course. He says he went from making no money to living off his YouTube income.
That's what I mean. If you're getting no money, where are you getting the startup money to do this from?
That leads us to the Faceless Education YouTube channel. And guess who we find?
Ik ben Joep, ik ben 25 jaar oud. Het is wel echt levensveranderend geweest. Dus, want uiteindelijk heb ik daar ook mijn baan kunnen opzeggen bij KPMG.
When we reach out to Joep, he tells us they are not affiliated with political movements, advocacy groups, or campaigns related to independence, and that the YouTube...
Yeah, it's just coincidental that taking advantage of that is a great way to make money. Go figure, right? It's just totally coincidental. Completely coincidental.
Channels are focused on generating revenue. Now we've connected the faceless education course to Dutchman Joep Licker, who hired American actor Bart Kraning to be the face of a YouTube channel promoting Alberta separatism. Joep isn't the only person we find that took this course. We also find Marijn Massoes.
Ik ben Marijn. Ik ben 21 jaar oud. Ik studeer nog ondernemerschap en retail.
And he's like 20? Like they're fucking idiot, fucking barely out of fucking high school morons.
They're in it to make a quick buck. There's no indication that governments are interested in regulating that kind of activity at all. But big question is what happens when the proponents actually don't have any skin in the game whatsoever.
Well, and that's what I mean, PNC, right? It isn't coincidental. You can do it with any right-wing nonsense. But why can you do it with any right-wing nonsense? And the answer is foreign money from different governments. Yeah, look at it in 2016. Look at the convoys, the trucker convoys that were getting paid by Russia, right? Look at the number of these channels that are being viewed by bots. Like the views on the channel aren't all actually legitimate people. It's bots getting bots, right? It's bots it's dead internet theory. Yeah, go ahead, Feline. Oh, wait. And also it's the emotional reaction as well, right? No, it's not just that. I'm simply saying that the funding, right, isn't coming from like the grassroots people. Although there are some, right? I'm not going to say that there's no actual people involved. What I'm getting at is that the bots that are viewing the videos are being paid for by foreign governments. Remember when the Trump administration on like Truth Social and shit, a bunch of the bots started posting in Russian because they didn't get paid? It's that shit.
He's sitting in the Netherlands developing these videos that are trying to promote Alberta leaving Canada, has no personal stake in whether the separatists succeed or fail. And that can make them really dangerous actors.
People are seeing these videos and view that as real news from real people. It's shocking, but it's not surprising. I think that's like sort of a world we're living in right now.
So for now, at least, it looks like that's the answer. Not Russia, not China or the US, but YouTubers.
See, I don't buy that. You can't just say it's not China, not Russia, not the United States, but YouTubers, because these YouTubers are making money based off of X, Y, and Z. YouTube is paying them money because of these views and because of engagement. That engagement is being paid for by bots. Or sorry, the engagement is created by bots being paid for, right? You see what I'm talking about? If it was a grassroots right-wing movement, the movement would starve. Yeah, right? So what I'm getting at is that, like, I think it's too simple and too convenient to brush this away as a handful of, like, grifting college Netherlanders. You know what I mean?
Trying to make money. If there's anything you want us to investigate, email us at vi@cbc.ca.
Oh, you want me to email you? Hey, so I watched this video and I feel like you gave up halfway through the actual story here. Because yes, you did a good job trailing back these, but like I feel like these guys, not the presenter. It's not the presenter. I feel like maybe the CBC needs somebody who actually understands the YouTube ecosystem, right? The people who ingest this stuff should know better. Yes, they should, but they don't. But they should, but they don't. But they should, but they don't. Useful tools, yeah. Right? Because, like, if that weren't the case, if it wasn't part of a political attack, then you could do it with basically any topic. And you can't do it with basically any topic. It doesn't work like that. Right? Each of these channels was initially boosted to get into the algorithm by accounts. Right, exactly. Yeah, Jason gets it. You got it. You guys understand what I'm saying. Exactly. Nailed it. School system failing the general public. Yeah, there's also that. It's a coincidence that you're wearing my Canadian Tim Pool hat. Well, covering Tim Pool-esque pawns. Yeah, they're basically the equivalent of the Tim Pool situation. And, it is not a coincidence. I like to wear this hat when I'm talking about politics. Particularly when I'm talking about YouTube. Politics on YouTube. That is intentional. The trucker convoy was not being paid by Russia. That is unproven conspiracy theory. Tell that to the people who are in jail. There were people that were arrested over that shit. We need a redo of the House Hippo. There wasn't a... They did redo the House Hippo. I would love to see if they would answer me. You want me to legit email these guys? You want me to legit email the CBC? Alright, vi@cbc.ca. Internet grifting politics. There we go. Alright, I wrote it down. We will compose an email later. So yeah, it looks like a lot of this, the separatist movement in Alberta is fake. But let's keep looking. So there's been some reports. I've got some stuff saved here on, and let's Treetail coming in hot and sideways with that comment out of nowhere. I mean, they always do. They always do. So this says, I am fascinated by the thought process of Alberta separatists. They want Alberta to pull a Brexit, but they don't even bother consulting with First Nations about the treaties that have existed since before Alberta was a province. Judge just threw out their petition, by the way. So here's the article, and I'm just going to go straight to the article. Alberta judge tosses out petition for province to separate from Canada. This is from 21 hours ago. This is just the last day. An Alberta judge has thrown out a petition, and look, we're on the BBC, so we're not even on a Canadian website, which is what I keep telling people. If you want to know, if you're worried about your own country's media not doing a good job covering things that are major events in your own country, consider looking at other countries' media. Practice what you preach. An Alberta judge has thrown out a petition seeking for the province to separate from Canada after Indigenous First Nations groups argued that an independent Alberta without their consultation would infringe on their treaty rights. The 37-page ruling was delivered on Wednesday in an Edmonton court by Justice Shayna Leonard. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but It comes after Stay Free Alberta, the group behind a citizen-led petition on Alberta independence, said it had gathered more than 300,000 signatures, enough to trigger a province-wide referendum. Justice Leonard paused verification of the signatures pending her decision on the First Nations legal challenge. So the reason why these signatures needed to be additionally verified was because of the leak that we talked about at the beginning of the stream. As part of the decision, Justice Leonard found a failure to consult with Athabasca, Chippewayan, First Nation, Blood Tribe, Piikani, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that one correctly, Nation, and the I can't pronounce it. Siksika Nation. In the ruling, the judge wrote, quote, as a matter of logic and common sense, there can be no doubt that Alberta's secession from Canada will have an impact on two treaties signed in the 19th century with First Nation peoples and the Crown. Despite the clear impact separation would have, quote, no consultation occurred, Leonard wrote. Quote, Alberta breached its duty to consult with the applicants. I can't do it, guys. Jeff Rath, a lawyer representing Stay Free Alberta, said in a statement, quote, we disagree fundamentally with the decision which appears on its face to violate principles of natural justice and contain numerous errors of law. Guys, we shouldn't have to consult the people who own the land and that we signed a treaty with to use the land. He told the BBC that his group would seek to appeal and is also considering asking the courts to place a stay on Justice Leonard's order. A lawyer for the Athabasca Chippewayan First Nations praised the judge's ruling as, quote, a significant victory for the rule of law and the protection of constitutional rights in Alberta. Well, we should, the separatists just fucking feel like they don't need to follow the law. They don't need to consult, and I don't have to care about the Constitution. Treaty rights? Yeah, I know. What? No, what treaty rights? I don't know what you're talking about. No, it's almost like the Alberta Separatists aren't, like, serious people. Like, if they were serious, they would have answers to some of the questions I posed earlier. If they were serious, they would be consulting with First Nations about how to do this in a way that makes sense. They're not. They're just being annoying. Feline, do you want to give a quick brief on what a stay would mean for the judge's order? Place a stay on the order. But what would that look like? It puts the order on hold, but like what does that mean in a judicial sense? Does that mean that they still continue counting the votes and verifying the votes? Does that mean they move forward with a referendum? What does that mean if they were to allow a stay? Jason says even if Alberta voted 100% to leave Canada, it would fail as they need all of Canada to vote 50% in favor, and Alberta is only 11% of the population. Yeah, no, they like. If they were serious. They're not serious. Justice Leonard's decision today makes it clear that it was unlawful to turn away from the findings about the impacts of First Nations and to not consult with them before taking this perilous step of holding a referendum. And I mean, and that's true. That is, like, you can't, Alberta doesn't own, like, look at this. This is a good example. Treaty 8, Treaty 6, Treaty 7. You want to know how much of Alberta actually fucking is owned by Alberta, quote unquote? Speaking to the BBC, Hill added that the order, quote, made it clear that there needs to be consultation and engagement before something as monumentous and perilous as independent referendum. If you don't want to mess with the First Nations people in Canada about anything, it's the law. These people have spent so much time arguing in court about the land that they do and do not own and about what they do and do not are a part of and who owns what. It's the First Nations people. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I'm laughing at what Treetail says. I wonder why we're watching and reading sources that confirm your bias. It would be good to listen to the source that goes against your preconceived opinions. Give me one. Tell me what source you want me to go watch. What I'm going to look at is I'm going to look at the original source, which is what the BBC is quoting right now. They're quoting a literal guy that they literally directly spoke to. Good lord. An international border would destroy their way of life, he said, adding, quote, there is no way they'd be able to live the way of life that they've lived for the last 7,000 years. In Canadian law, there is a duty to consult with Indigenous peoples when the government is considering actions that could infringe on their Aboriginal rights or treaties. Laws also require that the consultation be meaningful and done in good faith. Law! That is direct. Oh my god, please. Please.
I don't even consider myself to be Canadian anymore.
I love this guy. Bro doesn't even consider himself to be Canadian anymore, guys.
An independent Alberta would look very much the way it looks now. Only people would have a lot more freedom and would have a lot more financial wealth and well-being staying in their...
Citation needed. How? In what way? How would you have more wealth? Alberta already has an entire tax that it doesn't pay. A whole ass tax that they don't pay.
Pockets. The Alberta independence movement is growing.
Oh yeah? Is it? Look at guys, there's enough to fill like maybe a church.
Would like Alberta to become an independent, sovereign Commonwealth nation.
Wow, not even everybody there lifted their... Not even everybody at their own event lifted their hand. There was like 20 people. Hold on, I'm gonna count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. What's the demographic in this room, do you guys think? That's a lot of I don't mean to be judgy about the demographic, but guys, this room. You know what looks like this room is? This room looks like the people who are still reading things like the Calgary Herald. You know, the Calgary Herald that is owned and monopolized by U.S. foreign influence and U.S. money. That. Oh my god. Sorry, did what answer my question? The room is very pale. The room is very pale, very gray, and very bald. What was the question?
Commonwealth nation. Yeah. Sovereign Commonwealth nation. Yeah.
The Alberta independence movement is growing.
How many people would like Alberta to become an independent, sovereign Commonwealth nation?
How many people would like Alberta to become independent, sovereign? Is the question.
We're fed up, we've had enough, we want the hell out, and we vote to form a separate country. I mean, most of us
all 20 of them
are, you know, primarily interested right now in an independent Alberta. There's a lot of people interested in pursuing statehood. My mind is extremely open in that regard, but you know, like any relationship, let's get out.
Is your mind so open your brain fell out?
Go to Canada, right? And then we can discuss whether we want to join a rebound country later.
This guy is a total grifter, my guy. Total fucking grifter. All right, let's keep going. On Wednesday, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith told reporters that her government was reviewing the decision. Quote, "We think there has been an error in law and will be appealing it," she said, adding that she plans to discuss the ruling with her cabinet and caucus. The Alberta government recently amended its laws to remove a requirement for citizen-initiated referendums to be constitutional. Quote, "We have to allow for citizens to be able to express their opinions on any issue," she continued. The future of the referendum on independence in Alberta is now up in the air. Rath, the lawyer representing Stay Free Alberta, and that the people who signed the petition will, quote, "be demanding that Smith put the question on the ballot," end quote, in October, when the province has already scheduled a vote on a series of questions around immigrations and matters related to provincial powers. Quote, "Remember last time we looked at this and some other group beat them to it?" Quote, "I think at the end of the day, this will literally become an existential question for Premier Smith and her premiership," he told BBC News. Anger with Ottawa has been long-standing in the Western province, that's true. In particular, over development of its natural resources. Yeah, with some Albertans believing that that federal government, especially under the Liberals, stood in the way of the province's oil and gas industry in favor of pro-climate litigation. That is something that they believe, yeah. There is a belief that the province, with its natural resource wealth, also contributes more to the country than it receives, and that the rest of the country often ignores Western provinces or doesn't have their best interest in mind. Yeah, they believe that. I don't think that they're correct. For example, the big deal with canola oil is going to make the Western provinces a shitload of money. I did see recently also that Prime Minister Mark Carney is one of the most popular politicians out west at the moment. There's also, like, where's your citation, Tree? Tree! Hey, where's your citation? You told me to go look at something else. Give it to me. I'll go look at it right now. Cultural and political differences have fueled the divide, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, U.S. and Russia fueling separatist debate in Canada, a new report says. 8 days ago. Foreign actors are attempting to undermine Canadian interests by interfering in Alberta's separatist debate, according to new news report. Actors from Russia and the United States are attempting to promote separatist ideas in what researchers behind the report described as a threat to Canada's democratic integrity. What did I fucking tell you? The finding come as a proposed independent referendum in Western Canada province could face a vote soon as this autumn. Earlier this week, a group behind a citizen-led petition seeking independence for Alberta said it had acquired the number of signatures needed to trigger a referendum. The Alberta separatist movement had its roots in what is known as a Western alienation, a term used to describe the belief by some that the interests of the province are often overlooked by decision makers in Ottawa. Well, the push for a plebiscite has grown in the province. Opinion polls suggest a minority of about 25% of Alberta support independence. The joint report was released on Wednesday at the Global Centre for Democratic Resilience, the Centre for Artificial Intelligence, Data and Conflict, and DisinfoWatch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 sources being cited. Four sources. It argued that foreign actors are exploiting genuine regional grievances, such as concerns of the resource-rich province is economically exploited through social media, Russian-aligned information infrastructure, and other online accounts. Quote, when external actors amplify separatist narratives, normalize annexation, encourage national rupture, or undermine confidence in democratic processes, the issue is no longer only a matter of provincial politics, the researchers wrote in their report. Quote, it becomes a direct threat to Canada's democracy, democratic integrity, national security, and cognitive sovereignty. The BBC has contacted the Russian embassy in Canada for a response. Marcus Kolga, the director of DisinfoWatch, told the BBC that, quote, ensuring that Canadians have a discussion domestically that's free from that manipulation is key. Oh, the social media accounts studied were ones known to have previously spread disinformation. Oh, the content was created in an attempt to inflame the ongoing debate in Alberta and was designed to be pushed and promoted among like-minded Canadians. Go fucking... Who could have foreseen this? Who could have imagined? Was it me? Was it me? Did I say that? Oh. Oops. So here's the thing. Federal judge rejects separation question. Judge overturns elections Alberta approval for separation referendum petition. The Alberta government says it plans to appeal the decision by Alberta's Court of King's Bench Justice that had quashed the approval for a petition seeking a referendum on Alberta independence. The judge's decision puts the future of Stay Free Alberta's independent position, which the separatist group has said garnered more than 300,000 names in question. This was as of May 13th, this article. Should we hit play? Yeah.
Jubilation on the streets last week, as separatism supporters believed they had moved one step closer to triggering a referendum on Alberta leaving Canada. But that has now been quashed. In a court decision released Wednesday, an Alberta justice said that petition could not move forward, saying the question...
So this was the petition we were reading about.
But that has now been quashed. In a Court
of King's Bench of Alberta, citation Athabasca Chippewayan First Nations versus Alberta Chief Electoral Officer 2026. Registry is in Edmonton. The docket number is 2603-00155 and, 2603-01622. So, whoops.
Court decision released Wednesday, an Alberta justice said that petition could not move forward, saying the question approved by the Chief Electoral Officer had already been found to contravene a section of the Constitution, and that Alberta breached its duty to consult with First Nations.
I like the idea that Danielle Smith thinks she can just rewrite the Constitution whenever she in Canada whenever she feels like it.
It's a good win for Canada. It's a good win for Albertans.
The Athabasca Chippewa First Nation brought the court challenge, its chief calling for unity.
My advice to Danielle Smith is that, it's take the high road and let's build this country and work together.
All right, guys, do you think that Danielle Smith is going to take the high road and proceed to work together to make the country better for her constituents?
But the Alberta Premier had fighting words.
We think that this decision is incorrect in law and anti-democratic, and we will be...
We think that. We have no standing for that. That's just what we think really hard.
Appealing it as a result.
Petition organizers say more than 300,000 Albertans signed their names.
There's a reason why all of these things say they claim to have this many, and it's because they needed to be verified because they were suspect of being fraudulent because of that data breach that we talked about earlier.
Say the Premier has no choice.
I believe that we should have the vote. I honestly believe that she will give us the vote. And I really don't believe that any government in her position could do anything else.
Oh, yeah?
Professor
Danielle Smith is the Premier of of Alberta. There is no Premier of Ottawa. There's a Premier of Ontario. So each of the provinces have their own Premier. So like the person who runs it, sort of like a governor of a state.
Agrees the Premier is in a difficult position politically, juggling
Yeah, she's in a difficult position politically because she keeps putting herself in a difficult position politically because she keeps fucking over everybody in Alberta and has been for years.
Separatists and First Nations.
It lays bare the fact that there are these irreconcilable tensions that there may exist at the crux of the Alberta
Irreconcilable tensions.
Independence movement. I think politically is a big problem for Smith because this is always going to be something that she would have had to contend with.
Yeah, it is a problem.
Petition organizers are not backing down, and they say they're going to appeal. They plan to rally in the coming weeks to show the Premier how serious they are about a separatism.
They're thorough, guys. They're so serious that they don't even care to consult First Nations. That's how serious they are.
Question on the October ballot.
And Julia, what happens if it doesn't make it on the ballot?
Well, in short, petition organizers have already been calling on separatism supporters to join the United Conservative Party, to become members. And they say the Premier will have to answer to them when the party holds its annual general meeting in November.
Julia, thank you. Julia Wong.
So if Danielle Smith doesn't put it on, if she's unable to by law to put it onto the fucking ballot, the separatists are like, put it on the ballot anyway, and if she doesn't, she's gonna get screwed by her own fucking party that are gonna kick her out. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that link tree. I'm still waiting on your citation. I know you can't post a link. That doesn't mean you can't post a citation. Oh, wonderful. That's fucking hilarious. All right, what else we got? We got, because of course we just watched the fucking direct. Okay, here we got this one.
It's a lot to take in, but this is really the news today. And essentially, Andrew, it's Elections Alberta saying Parker's refusing to cooperate with their investigation, and he's refused to comply with that cease and desist order to stop.
So the group that fucking got busted and now is running into legal trouble because they fucking leaked a bunch of fucking people's private information, that they're gonna get their... Here's the thing. There's like 2 or 3 people in the chat that are spicy, coming in spicy, right? Do you think that falsifying signatures is a good or a bad thing to do? Do you think people should be doing that? Yeah, Nate, good point. We must remember that when Quebec reached 35% plus of the votes, that on the official vote, the military was told to leave. Alberta will have to do the same. How do you defend Alberta? No, seriously. No, yeah, no, that's one of the questions that I've been asking. All right, did they finally post a link? Did they finally figure out how to fucking do this? All right. They finally learned how to fucking This is their source. This is tree source that I'm supposed to be looking at. Oh boy. This guy? Constitutional lawyer. Alberta will vote on independence from 19 hours ago. Debate and next step. Alberta's independence enters the next phase. Carney gets his majority. Proves Alberta needs independence. First Nation injunction against Alberta independence from 1 month ago. So he didn't update that they got tossed out? Alberta independence vote? Bro. Alright, I need a vote in the chat before we start looking at this guy's videos. I want you guys to take a vote in the chat. How much does this guy's videos look to similar on a scale, like put a percentage in, right? 1 to 100%. How much does this guy's videos look like the CBC one, the ones that the CBC was showing that were like, we're here to make algorithm money? This guy's got 13K subscribers and only has 17 videos. Right? 17 videos. Alright? Alberta independence, Alberta independence. Alberta independence, 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 Alberta independence. All 17 videos are Alberta independence. All 17 of them. He's a lawyer? Oh, is he? What's your citation for that? How do you know he's a lawyer? How do you know he's a lawyer? This guy literally, his channel so far looks identical to the ones we were just talking about. Identical! What happens if I go to his Twitter? Look at this stupid shit! Oh my fucking god! Oh my god. Well, his channel says he's a lawyer. And just like how Flat Earth Ozzy Jesus says he's the Messiah. Yeah, right? He said he was a lawyer, therefore he's a lawyer, right? Oh yeah, this is fake as fuck, dude. What the fuck are you doing? Father, husband, Albertan lawyer, property rights and constitutional law. Spent too much time in Ottawa in 2022. Oh, really? What was going on in Ottawa 2022, guys? Guys, do you happen to remember what was going on in Ottawa in 2022? That looks like me when I'm scrolling the funnies. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Oh, where does this go? Is this his law office? Keith Wilson Law Office? Oh boy. A prominent and experienced Alberta lawyer who deals with cases involving land, the environment, oil and gas, water, compensation, and constitutional law. Keith has appeared before the Federal Court of Alberta, the Ontario Superior Court of Justice, all Albertan courts, and all Alberta courts? Oh my god, if you think me looking at his literal stuff is me poisoning the well, I have news for you. Oh my god. All Alberta courts. Oh, wonderful. COVID-19 charter litigation. Alberta tackling oil wells. Oh my god. Supreme Court of Canada Redwater ruling. 2016, Alberta Expropriation Association 29th Annual Fall Conference. Canadian Property Rights Conference, Calgary. Oh, all 20 people. All 20 of them. Hey, is this the same group of is this the same group of people that was in the one we watched? Oh my goodness. Wonderful. How many cases are on the list? Yeah, where do I look at how many cases are on the list? The founder of Varista's litigation support. What the fuck is this? Oh. I just want to know who I'm listening to before I start listening to them. I'm gonna figure out how seriously to take this guy. Check Discord. Okay. Yeah. Where am I looking? Educational political? Oh no. Proceedings history prior to January 1st, 2015, if any is not available through the lawyer directory, please fill out a lawyer report request for information. Current citations, none. Discipline history, none. Notice reports, none. Current registrations, none. Oh no! Have you considered the counterfactual viewpoint? Ugh! But have you considered? You told me to go look at this guy. Now you're mad that I'm looking at him. Why are you mad? I remember studying Voltaire in university and wondering how any civil society could have ever considered constraining free speech to be a good idea. Oh no. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to find like something he's posted, that's not a repost. Like, he's reposting a bunch of fucking slopaganda is such a good term, oh my god. Like, look at this fucking meme bullshit. Like, you can't look at this guy and what he's posting and tell me he does not look identical to the slopaganda. And here's the thing, he could have a degree, he could be a lawyer, he could be legit. That says nothing about whether or not he's trying to use YouTube to grift for money. He's the one who claims he's a constitutional lawyer, so I went looking to view the citation. Why are you mad? It seems like, would you be angry if he was legit? Like, why are you mad if I look up what this guy's about? Didn't you tell me to look this guy up? Don't you want me to know about him so I can fucking, is this against, are you mad about my free speech? I feel like you wouldn't be mad if this guy didn't come off as sussy as fuck. Like, look at his fucking pinned. His pinned thing on the top here, above, that's the fucking convoy, guys. Amazing. Amazing. Check Discord again. Oh! You spied a Dutch flag! Oh no. I'm pretty sure I've looked at Ryan Garrison before, and they're just a fucking, they're the same kind of shill. They're the exact same kind of shill that that like Pierre Poilievre was associated during the convoy. It's the same thing. It's all the same fucking thing. Oh my god. This is so funny. I'm using my free speech wrong. Guys, I'm wrong for actually looking at the claims this guy is making for fucking right out the gate. Alright, are we ready to watch one of his videos? Are we ready? keeping in mind that the Alberta Separatists have already lost in court. Like there's not like Alberta's not going to be able to separate. So the discussion is ostensibly over. But let's take a look. He's got 26,000 views from 19 hours ago, 12-minute long video. All right, let's take a look.
The court decision is out on the legal challenge initiated by 4 different First Nations chiefs against the democratic process of citizens signing a petition.
Already the way he said democratic process is already fucking sussy.
The court has struck down the specific petition in this instance, and of course I'm talking about the independence petition initiated by Mitch Sylvester. So what I want to talk to you about now is what the decision means and what it doesn't mean.
So he's already trying to reframe the ruling. Correct. He's even like working on like it's two. There are two, right? There are 2 pieces of litigation, right? There are 2 different groups, right?
First of all,
what does it mean?
It doesn't mean that there won't be a referendum on independence.
Yeah, ignoring First Nations is inherently undemocratic given the laws and treaties in place. Correct. Oh my, no, he just wants the right people to be ignored. Guys, it's just the right people. Yeah, this guy can't even keep a straight face, yeah.
I have always said, and I've always emphasized, that whether or not there's going to be an independence referendum vote in October of 2026 will be determined by the Alberta Cabinet under the Referendum Act, not necessarily by any
Yeah, he's backpedaling.
petition initiated under the Citizen Initiative Act. And the reason why I've always said that...
What do you mean you're trying to put another point of view into the discussion, my guy? We've literally been sitting here looking at there's barely been any opinion that we've been looking at. We've been looking at information. We haven't been looking at opinions. You seem to misunderstand that looking at what the BBC article is saying about what's going on is not an opinion. This is a statement of a report. That's not what an opinion is. Please do me a favor, Tree, do me a favor. I got a question for you. I got one question. Can you please define opinion for me? Define opinion. Yet misinformation being spread by faceless YouTubers is a matter of fact, not a matter of opinion. So go ahead. What is an opinion? Define it for me. Because I don't think you know what an opinion is. Go on, I'll wait. I'll wait, it's fine. My other question is actually, are you from Canada? Are you from Alberta? Sin, are you from Alberta? Slater, are you from Alberta? The counterfactual point of view is not useful. Well, here's the thing. This isn't the fact of the matter is not an opinion, right? So then you know, right? Personal belief, judgment, or a viewpoint. Okay. So then you know the fact of the matter is not a viewpoint. It is a fact of the matter. Spent half my life in BC and the other half in Alberta. That tells me nothing if I don't know how old you are. If you're 10 years old, that's 5 years apiece, and it means absolutely nothing, because you're still only 10.
is because the whole concept of citizens of a province having the right to vote on whether or not they feel they want to secede, become independent, their own country, is founded in the 1998 reference case of the Supreme Court of Canada. It's not founded.
The 1998. All right, hold on. 1998
reference case of the Supreme
reference case of the Supreme Court of Canada. Let's find out what the fuck he's talking about. The Quebec decision? Is this the one you're talking about? A landmark judgment of the Supreme Court of Canada regarding legality under both Canadian and international law of unilateral secession of Quebec from Canada. Both Quebec government and Canadian government stated they were pleased with the Supreme Court's opinion, pointing to different sections of the ruling. Is this the one you're talking about?
Supreme Court of Canada. It's not founded in the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act was in the year 2000, after the fact, and has things...
Why would that matter? Let's pull up the Clarity Act. Here's the Wikipedia article for the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act, known as Bill C-20 before it became law, is legislation passed by the Parliament of Canada that established the conditions under which the Government of Canada would enter into negotiations that might lead to secession following such a vote by one of the provinces. The Clarity Act, or Bill C-20, was tabled for its first reading, blah, 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 blah. Although the law applies to all provinces, the Clarity Act was created in response to the 1995 Quebec referendum. Right, the ongoing independence movement in that province. The content of the act was based on the 1998 secession reference to the Supreme Court of Canada made by the federal government of Prime Minister Jean Chrétien. Previously, I love that picture of him. It's so good. Previously, in 1996, the private bill members bill, the Quebec Contingency Act, Bill C-341, was introduced to establish the conditions which would apply to a referendum regarding the separation of Quebec from Canada, but did not proceed further than the first reading. 2 days after the act had been introduced in the Canadian House of Commons, the Parti Québécois government passed an act respecting the exercise of the fundamental rights and prerogatives of the Quebec people and the Quebec state, and in the National Assembly of Quebec. Oh, thank you so much for the resub for 25 months. So here's the thing. Let's let him finish what he was saying.
Whether or not they feel they want to secede, become independent, their own country, is founded in the 1998 reference case of the Supreme Court of Canada. It's not founded in the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act was in the year 2000, after the fact, and has things in it that are obviously unconstitutional and
What? The Clarity Act has things in it that are unconstitutional?
Consistent with the 1998 reference decision.
Such as. See, this is where I would find meat if this person had any meat to add to the conversation. Such as.
So I have always encouraged people to go back.
So he doesn't have anything. This is nothing. This is a nothing burger. He doesn't have an argument. He's just making statements. This is the same problem that we've seen with every single one of these fucking goddamn YouTubers that we've watched talking about any of this fucking shit. He says the people of Alberta, then ignores First Nations. Oh, the people need to be able to fucking have their say and be able to vote. But not those people. Those people don't count. Only the people I say counts. And that's only 25%, roughly. Only 25% of fucking Albertans agree. That's not enough of a percent anyway. But we're also going to ignore the Clarity Act, and we're just going to make this claim that it is unconstitutional without any reasoning behind that. We're just going to say that and expect people to just believe. Yeah, there's no meat.
And look at that decision of the court, the Supreme Court, because it's key. It determines...
Well, listen, I went back to look at it, and the people supporting you telling me to go watch you got mad at me. They're like, oh, why do you keep interrupting him to look up the shit he's referencing and the shit he's telling me to look up, assholes? What the fuck?
What the rights are of a province and the citizens of a province, whether that province is Quebec, whether it's Alberta, whether it's Saskatchewan, to become independent. So
what if Ottawa, what if Ontario wants to become independent? Oh my god. Tree, are you fucking stupid? Like, are you fucking dumb? Like, you know this is ridiculous, right? Alright, so Intrigued Feline says, they skimmed through the Quebec ruling. Number 1, a state cannot secede by itself. 2, a state is not given the unilateral right even by international conventions. And 3, even if there is a clear majority, the state still needs to negotiate with the rest of Canada. Yeah, go figure. How does this man make money? By having 13,000 subscribers and only 17 videos and having 27,000 views to fucking bot out the algorithm. No, Tree, don't be hard on yourself. I've seen people that are more dumb than you. You're just here being a useful idiot for this guy, and for shills, and for Russia. It's fine, don't worry about it. This is, you understand that this guy hasn't actually said anything, right? Like, you're telling me that I'm here to watch this as an opposing viewpoint. He hasn't provided an opposing viewpoint. He's provided a generalized statement that he's just saying by fiat with zero information in it and zero actual argumentation. And we've talked about, we're already covering this. In all of the stuff we've talked about, we've already covered everything he said so far.
Nothing in the decision from the court today, the Court of King's Bench, on the unusual legal challenge from a few First Nations chiefs in any
And we're back to degrading the First Nation chiefs. Yeah, okay.
way at all restricts or limits the effect of the Supreme Court of Canada 1998 decision, nor
Good, so that means there isn't anything that is unconstitutional or legally wrong, so this guy disagrees with Danielle Smith?
the clear...
2 minutes of one video, is he supposed to cover all your points that quickly? No, he's supposed to cover his own. You remember a minute? Tree, hey. Hey, pay attention. Hey. Don't get distracted. Pay attention for a minute. Hey, listen. Hold on, come here real close. Remember a minute ago when I said he brought up this thing claiming that this thing is doing unconstitutional stuff, and then he didn't proceed to go on and explain what those things were? That's what I'm talking about. No. He brought up the topic in his video. I'm not demanding he answer my questions. I'm demanding he actually make an argument for the shit he brought up in his own video and actually make a fucking point. Hey. That's what I'm demanding. You told me there was meat in this video. He stated a thing and then just moved on and then is continuing to be like low-key racist.
And unchallenged.
And see, you don't have a point. See, now the person doing ad hominems has been you the entire time. Go figure, imagine that. Wow. Tell me, what am I supposed to have learned? Yeah, what am I supposed to have learned? It's 2 minutes. He's only had 2 minutes. What am I supposed to have learned? Here's the problem, Tree. I am listening to what he's saying. That's what I'm criticizing. That's what I'm telling you I'm criticizing. Tree, come back. Hey. More like high-key racist. Okay, yeah, fair enough. He's trying to be subtle about his high-key racism. We'll put it that way.
challenged unquestionable right and authority of the Smith government cabinet to set an independence question for October 19th.
Yeah, that's not what that says. Which part of the act then? Which part of the act and which part of the law says that? Because again, we're back to you're just stating that without giving a citation of what part of the law that says that.
So be very clear in your mind about that. This does not end the prospect for a referendum on independence in any way at all. So what is the decision about? Well, if anybody's tried to read it, you'll know that it's very complex and it's very probably hard to follow.
Is it? Is it very complex and hard to follow? It's 37 pages, right? What was it called? Judges decision Alberta separatism. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can get the throws the position out. Yeah. Where's do we have like the actual, I'm seeing if I got the actual like decision. Can I read the decision? It got quashed. Yeah. Where is the actual decision itself? I'm seeing if I can find the actual. Apparently it's difficult to read and hard to follow. So I want to find out if it is. It doesn't seem like it's that difficult to understand. Injunction rejected. Give me a goddamn citation. Give me the actual paperwork. Where is it? Give it to me. Give it to me. Why do I no have? God damn it. I gotta find the actual... Listen, you do notice that this guy is also not a source, right? Like, he's not a direct source either. Separation confirmed decision on Alberta. The chiefs of the Blackfoot Confederacy are reaffirming their position on treaty rights and constitutional obligations following significant ruling of the Korean Court. Hey, this is their press release. I'm gonna give you guys the link to this just so you guys have it in case you want to go look at this, because this is kind of interesting. Here you go. I'll also drop it on Twitch. There you guys go. Where is the actual petition? Or like, where's the actual fucking voter information, court decisions? Ah, 404. I'm getting 404, guys. God damn it. Let me know if any of you guys actually find it. You're late, start over. Yeah, I mean, we could legit just start over. The Alberta Separatists are too long didn't read. The Alberta Separatists are getting falsely bolstered by foreign money and foreign entities, some including the United States, some including the Netherlands, by YouTubers and bots. And also that people that are Alberta Separatists in the side chat are fucking stupid. And they're falling for it. Even a direct one-to-one comparison is too difficult for these fucking people. Can I have the ruling? Right now I'm trying to find the actual ruling itself. Like a copy of the ruling. I'm finding all of the fucking news articles all saying the same thing, which is pretty funny because everybody's like, oh, make sure you go get a different source. I've gotten like 17 different sources I've gone through, and they're all saying the same fucking thing. And they're like, no, but listen to this shill. This shill definitely knows what they're fucking doing. Oh, you found it? Bless your heart. Send me that shit. Thank you. Nailed it. Please work. Ah, bless your heart. All right, here we go. Apparently this is too difficult for anybody to read. Da-da-da. Introduction. We're going to skip the introduction. We're going to go down to the conclusion. Issues. There are a number of issues before the court. Alberta filed an application to strike all or portions of affidavits filed by ACFN and Blackfoot Nations in this matter. Blackfoot Nations and the ACFN apply for judicial review of the CEO decision. The applicants also seek a declaration that the impunged provisions are unconstitutional. Although the applicants articulate the issue in different terms, there is a substantial overlap. I frame the issues for determinations as follows. 1. Should the ACFN affidavits or Blackfoot Nation affidavits be struck in whole or in part? 2. Does the statutory framework for the amended CIA and Referendum Act RSA 2000 CR-8.4 require the government to implement the results of binding referendum? 3. Should the CEO decision be set aside on judicial review? This is 3A. Did the CEO err in law in interpreting and applying the transitional provisions, particularly in 71.1 in brackets, by treating the first proposal as one deemed not to have been made? 3B. Did CEO err by not rejecting the second proposal in face of Sylvester? 3C, is the CEO decision reviewable on the basis that the Crown did not meet its duty to consult with the applicants? And 3D, are the impunged provisions of the amended CIA that mandated the CEO decision inconsistent with the S35 of the Constitution Act 1982, SS 92, and 96 of the Constitution Act 1867, or the unwritten constitutional principles? So, is this too difficult for you, Tree? This is what he's telling us. This is what he's saying that he's talking about. So I'm going to the direct source to see what the direct source has to say about what he is talking about, so I can compare what he claims about it versus what it says, so I can decide about whether or not this guy is full of shit, even though I think I can already tell he's full of shit. Tree! Hey, Tree! Is this too difficult for you? Yes or no? It's a yes or no question. It's not that fucking hard. Yeah, and we already know Tree's a malicious actor right now. They're not having an honest discussion about anything. They're too busy defending racists. What do you mean? So it's not difficult. All right, cool. So what do we need this guy? So he lied to us? He said it was very complex and probably hard to follow. So he's lying? It's not that complex and it's not that difficult to follow? What do you think this guy's actually going to say about it?
And the reason is unfortunately, I think it's what us lawyers call a result-focused decision, where a judge reaches a conclusion and then tries to write reasons to substantiate the conclusion, as opposed to going where the law and the facts take you, which you're supposed to do in court decisions.
Why? Do you think he's going to explain why?
What the court got focused on was the transitional provisions.
So the answer is no.
And what the intention was of the Alberta legislature.
Yeah, so he's not. The answer is no.
And the court concluded in this case that when, back in December, the Alberta government brought in Bill 14.
Yeah, you're right. Maple Boy is correct. If they really wanted to not be a part of Canada, instead of wasting their time to try and do something that has no legal standing, they should migrate. Yeah, all 20 of them. It would be way more effective for them to migrate to the United States if that's what they want to do, or outside of Canada for 20 people to do that instead of whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, he's just making bold accusations of dishonesty on the court without substantiating it in any capacity.
To affirm the rights of citizens to conduct petitions on all questions, including independence, because the Supreme Court of Canada said we have a right to do that. The court
that misrepresents what the Supreme Court actually said, so dishonesty on that one.
The decision today said, well, she
Yeah, do you notice he made that statement and then skimmed over justifying it? That's the exact same thing that he just did on the first one, so now we're at least section number 2 of him doing that, so now he's moved on to another thing.
Didn't think that the legislature really intended for Mitch Sylvester to be able to
20 people is literally the number of people I counted in the room that raised their hands. It's called an ongoing joke.
to file a new petition like he did in December on the same question that the previous court had struck down. Well, obviously that was
the second time this guy's been struck down in a court for being bullshit.
Intention of the Alberta legislature. And so I think the court got that wrong. And the decision goes into other
Again, I think the court got that wrong. How? You're a lawyer claiming to be here to explain to lay people about the law, and yet you have yet to explain a single thing about the law. Jingle, jingle. Hey, Tree, Mr. McMahon here has not explained a single thing. He's just making statements and then waffling and then moving on to another topic to make another accusation. Tree! Are you fucking stupid?
interpretive analysis.
Don't answer, that was rhetorical.
To again reach the conclusion that the chief electoral officer should have never approved in December Mitch Sylvester being able to commence a petition process like he did that ran up until May. So,
why? How? In what way? Oh, you're just making statements. It's nothing. It's nothing.
This decision, not only is it riddled with legal errors, as the premier.
He's not gonna name any of the legal errors. He's just gonna say there's a shitload of legal errors in it, and therefore there are.
Noted today in a press conference that her disappointment with it, that it's very undemocratic. You know, what we're talking about here is...
Yeah, no, getting the votes of everybody in a province is undemocratic, guys.
The most base form of democracy, is older than the Magna Carta, that...
Oh my god, say nothing harder. Does this sound like a bot wrote it to you? This sounds like this was AI-generated script.
Citizens should have the right, in a democracy, to petition their government, to bring an...
Yeah, that's not under question. That you made a petition. Clearly it was legal for you to make a petition. That's not even fucking part of the question.
Issue to their government and say, we would like you to look at this issue. That's all the petition was doing. And the court said no.
Uh-huh, and the court said your petition is bullshit. You're welcome.
Well, the good news is...
That is not what the court did. We're literally looking at it. He's just gonna, they just said no. Yeah, okay, that really complicated document that he's like encouraging you not to read. Unreal. Whoops. Unbelievable.
It doesn't matter what the court said here because...
Oh, now it doesn't matter. Oh, thank you, Orange Dot, for the 2 months membership. Do I get a free pizza from the Chaos Gods? Good luck. You can certainly try. Now what the court says doesn't matter. So the courts in Canada are useless and they mean nothing, so then why are you complaining about it? So what's the problem? I have said multiple times that Alberta has legitimate grievances.
Decision has no reach, is very narrow.
How? In what way? Why? Explain. Tell Elmo. Tell Elmo. That's what you're here to do.
Very technical and in no way limits the authority and the right of...
It's not, it doesn't mean anything. It's very technical. It has no power. It's... What?
The cabinet, the provincial cabinet, to issue an order in council announcing that there will be a question on independence in the October 19th referendum. And
in the October 19th referendum that may or may not exist.
The other aspect of the decision from today was a notion that the government failed.
No, actually, Tree, it wouldn't. This guy is useless. He's a paid shill. There would be no value in having him on to discuss what? What would I discuss with him? He's not discussing anything. He's just making statements. He's just reading off an AI-generated script. What value would that have to me or anybody else? It's nothing.
Held in its duty to consult First Nations. And one of the things that I've been watching with some concern over the past couple of years is the discussion in political circles, in social media, and in the legacy media about the duty to consult.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Sin has got part of it down. The Supreme Court of Canada, 1998, reference re-Quebec secession established that Quebec, and by extension any province, does have a democratic right to initiate the move to independence. Now quote the rest of it. There's a difference between initiation, to initiate the conversation, right? Read the rest of it. You can get there. I believe in you. Keith Wilson is an outlier and makes outlandish claims. We've noticed that. His claims are definitely outlandish. He seems to, his formatting, Keith Wilson's formatting is exactly the same as a bunch of other accounts that the CBC just exposed for being paid shill accounts.
And Aboriginal and First Nation rights is a gross enlargement.
That is not. It is not a gross enlargement. It is literally written in and was clarified later. He's just by fiat dismissing the clarification.
Embellishment of what their legal rights actually are.
How? How is it an embellishment? In what way? He's not going to answer.
The First Nations legal rights actually are, as set out either under the treaties, under Section 35 of the Constitution.
Where?
And from rulings of the court.
How? How? I will eat my hat if he gives me an actual citation to what he's referring to and explains how. I will eat my fucking hat.
The argument is that the notion the court seems to...
Somebody owes me money! I don't know who it is, but I think it's Tree.
to be advancing almost is that an elected government,
it is a cherry-picked broad statement,
has an obligation to consult with First Nations before an elected government either consults its citizens on an issue, which is what a citizen's petition process is about, or the elected government contemplates...
Look at that, he's trying to pretend that he's thinking about what he's saying when he's just reading a script.
Making a new policy or law. And if that's in fact the law of Alberta and the law of Canada, we're not living in a democracy.
And here's one. Freedom Train said, Quebec held a referendum on their desire for independence twice. Albertans are entitled to the same democratic process. Yeah, and they're going through that democratic process. And so far they are not, they're not going to separate based on that democratic process.
Democracy anymore. But that's not the law of Canada. It's not the law of Alberta. Governments have a duty to consult with First Nations when government action or projects that are seeking to be approved.
Separation is a whole government thing. That is not just a handful of people want to move out. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, what an insane statement.
Might impact.
You're actually going to pretend that secession from the fucking country is just a bunch of people signing a petition?
On First Nations treaty rights, or their more broad traditional rights. And it can be simply
Yeah, it would not surprise me if constitutional experts disagree with this guy's take. This guy is a joke so far. He's got nothing. He's just making statements and then just pretending that he said something important.
matter on the lower end of providing First Nations notice that something's proposed for their area.
Yeah, he's blaming First Nations people, yes.
But
he's just
on
racist.
the most extreme end, it's consulting with them and explaining what's proposed, seeking their feedback and input on it, and seeing whether there's an impact that wasn't identified or known that results from
He's like, we can tell them this is happening and then do whatever we were going to do anyway.
Consultation, and whether there's some way to accommodate it. It's not a veto. It's
See? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. No wonder he has to come here to make money off of grifting on the internet.
It's not a permission. It's a consult. It's much like you would do if you live in the city. And
Albertans did not follow the process because when it did happen in Quebec, there were updates to the law. They did not follow the process, and thus their shit has been thrown out. If they really want to separate and really want to take separation seriously, then follow the fucking process. What's the problem with fucking following the process? Is it because you already know you're fucking losers? Yeah, of course it is.
You're seeking to put up a new fence in your backyard, and you would go over and talk to your neighbor and say, hey,
no! Wow. Hey, listen, neighbor, I'm gonna put up a fence here. I want you to consult you about it. And I'm gonna put up a fence no matter what. So remember a minute ago when I just said he's saying, oh, we're just gonna inform the First Nations people that this is what we're doing. We'll get their feedback and then do whatever we were gonna do anyway. The example he's giving is literally that. But I'm the idiot, of course.
hey, here's where I'm thinking of putting the fence. Here's what the fence is going to be like. Do you have any thoughts on this? And they might say, yeah, I'd like to come over for a visit more often.
Oh, now I have to go read this whole other thing? You mean I can't just review this guy based off of his videos? Now I have to go and read something else? And that was after I was covering something else completely different where I was sent to this guy? My goodness. It's almost like it's written into the law that it has to be in good faith or something, and that it has to be an actual attempt to work together. Good lord. Apparently, Freedom Train is living in the early 1990s and doesn't know that the law has been updated since 1998 and 2000. You might want to catch up, Train. You're falling behind.
Often can we put a gate in the middle? You know, or can you make it a different style to complement my fence on my...
Or no, we don't want a fence here and it's our property. That's more the fucking conversation if you wanted to give a real fucking example.
Either side. That's what the spirit, I believe, of the law is about. It was never intended...
That is literally not what it says. In fact, the law literally says different. Like literally. Like literally says different. Like, it literally says differently. You're welcome to go read through it yourself. Okay. I'm very convinced of my position. What is my position, Tree? What is my position? What do you think my position is? Because so far, the position that I have stated in this video is that the Albertan stuff failed and was thrown out by the court. That is my position. And that Alberta separatists have no policies. Can you give me an Albertan policy? At least one? If they were to succeed, what their policies would look like? Can you give me one?
Intended to give vetoes. So it's understandable today that at the press conference, the Premier said that there are some issues that this decision raises that need to be clarified by a higher court, and indicated
like what?
That the Alberta government would be appealing. But equally important, the Premier...
See? He just makes a statement and then just moves on and doesn't explain any. He's here claiming to be a constitutional lawyer from Canada, explaining this to you, and he hasn't explained a single fucking thing. He just makes a statement.
Premier made clear today at the press conference and affirmed her accurate understanding of the law, which is the decision ultimately as to whether or not there'll be an independence question on the ballot in the fall is her cabinet's, and she indicated that she will be consulting in the coming weeks or months with her caucus and her cabinet on whether or not what the question would look like for independence. She also noted quite properly that between Thomas Lukaszyk's brilliant petition expressly...
Oh my god, his fucking framing is so fucking hilarious. It's very telling.
Calling on the government to hold a referendum, not a vote in the legislature, a province-wide referendum vote on whether or not Alberta should stay in Canada. He had over 400,000 votes.
Yeah, they're not even saying what about the petition is good. He's explaining nothing. This is nothing. This is nothing. He's saying nothing. He's just making blanket statements and then providing no information.
Mitch Sylvester filed a statutory declaration with the Premier's office confirming that the independence petition he oversaw had over 300,000 Albertans sign it. That's
which is under question, and those are signatures that needed to be verified because of a fucking leak of people's voting data by some Centurion, what the fuck, because I've already forgotten what they were called, and the Republican Alberta fucking political group. Duh! So you don't even get to claim these numbers.
100,000 Albertans
that
have said they want the opportunity.
It is definitively not, and I will remind you that this came out 19 hours ago, so this is information that we did in fact have already, so he's just lying about that. That's just a lie.
To have a democratic process to express their view and their vote.
Yeah, the law is part of that democratic process, so you need to follow the process and follow the law, and they didn't, which is why it got tossed. You're welcome.
This important topic of the future of the province. So I'm not discouraged by the decision today.
It's okay, Freedom Train. Don't cry. Like I've said before, you could have 100, and other people have mentioned this before, 100% of people in Alberta could vote to want to leave Alberta. That would not mean that Alberta separates on its own. It means that you can then start having a conversation and a negotiation where you're not violating treaties, where you are not, and then negotiating with that you proceed to then negotiate with the rest of Canada to get the rest of Canada to also agree with you. If you don't like the process and still don't want to be part of Canada, you can immigrate to another country. Yeah, the Centurion Project. Thank you. You're correct. That was the name of it.
We're going to keep encountering these bumps in the road because, frankly...
The bumps in the road, like, you know, those damn First Nation peoples and their treaties and their law and their their moral high ground that they're on. God damn. Yeah, way to talk about First Nation people like you're gonna run them over with a car.
All of the opponents of independence have is this.
You'll notice that when I asked, when there was a handful of people in here that were supporting the referendum, I asked them for one single policy, and they haven't been able to provide a single policy. It's because they don't have any. It's because they're not actually serious. These are not serious people. You can tell.
Kind of stuff. Not a single argument has been advanced to explain why Albertans would be better off remaining in Canada.
What? Who's supposed to be doing that shit?
Not a single plan has been brought forward by the Federalists as
What?
how they think they can address the legitimate grievances of Albertans that they acknowledge.
You mean like the deal with the deal with China that would bring a shitload of money into Alberta? Like that? Again, we're back to this problem where some of Alberta's grievances are legitimate, but they blame the federal government when it's actually policies related to the provincial government.
Are real and valid. They've offered no plan. The only viable
And that's not actually true. That's a lie.
pathway to restore a prosperous future for our children and our grandchildren is a lawful referendum in accordance with the Supreme Court of Canada decision
Okay, so then you should agree with this one, but go on.
set by the cabinet and
Oh, yeah, no, Will Citation needed that. Will Citation needed that. Citation needed. Citation needed.
voted on by the people and a clear majority saying, yes, it's time for us to chart our own.
Well, there is no, first off, you have no majority. Second off, the people, the First Nations people are included in that. You don't just get to pretend that you're not included. They are, in fact, very important to what you're trying to do. So to breeze them off at the beginning and then just say, but we want to do things in the legal way after we tried to ignore them the first time, and in your example has you completely ignoring the First Nations people, which you're not legally allowed to do, tells me you're full of shit.
own course and free ourselves from the shackles of Ottawa.
The shackles of Ottawa! Now you tell me, now vote, guys, in the chat again, give me a percentage. Now that we've watched one of his videos, right? Now that we've actually seen what one of the videos have to do, give me a percentage in the chat. How many of you, what do you think the percentage is that this guy is the exact same thing that we just watched the CBC cover? A fake grifty political account. 90%, 100%. What do you guys think? The shackles of Ottawa. They're very serious, super serious. Very, very serious, guys. Very serious. Oh, wonderful. This is also ignoring the breaking of the law of the release of all that voting, the electoral list, which seems to have been weaponized to artificially inflate the petition number. 85%, 90 to 95%, over 900%, 100%, 81.37%. Being a lawyer doesn't preclude you from being a grifter, but I'm still looking for a citation on that this guy's actually a lawyer. So far, the only citation of him actually being a lawyer is his own website. So, you know, I mean, maybe he did stuff prior to 2015, but I'm gonna need a citation on that. So, you know. I love it when the mask slips. Like, look at Freedom here. Freedom Train. Look at the comment. Like, the mask slipping off. You're not serious. They're just a bunch of grifters. Well, let me know, by the way, if you guys have anybody else you want me to go look at, because I have at least 2 more on the list to check out that are different channels that are similar to this. Because I actually, believe it or not, do look at these channels basically every other week. So one week I am covering like actual news, and then on another stream I'll cover like one of these grifters. Right, so last week we covered one of the grifters, so if you don't think that I know what the opposing side is, you'd be surprised. So yeah, if you want to, we looked and found it inadequate. I do like trains. I do like trains. Anyway, this is the type of, based on, the research done about the fake accounts, right? This would be like, oh no, this isn't it. Hold on. Here it is. Let me find the screenshot or the I'm trying to find where they showed a bunch of them. Like this. See the background?
People in the Netherlands.
Hold on.
Why is it odd? On the phone was a misunderstanding. But that's not the only connection we make to people in the Netherlands.
Here. Like his channel looks almost identical to like ones like this that I'm showing right here. Here we go. Now that you can see it. It's the same. It's the fucking same. It's just I've got dark mode on. Like, look at this. This is grifty bullshit. This is absolutely grifty bullshit. Almost all of the fucking thumbnails are identical. The fucking position he's in, he's just copy pasting. Like, it's all fucking... This is bot shit. Next time, I think I'll actually read through. I'll take time and read through this entire thing so we actually know what it actually says. So we'll take a look at the legal document. And there's been some updates that we'll have to look at later. So... yeah. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna get us on out of here. We've been live long enough. Let me know, comments down below. If you have somebody else you want me to fucking take a look at, let me know, and we can decide if they're a fucking grifter or not. It's just whether or not they actually have anything to say. Imagine that. We actually took the thing, they came in to tell us to look at a thing, we looked at the thing, we made decisions, we looked at their content, we looked at who they were, and they're still not happy. It's gonna be pretty dry. Oh yeah, good. It should be dry. Thank you so much. Maybe instead of reading the whole thing live for you guys, I'll get a summary for you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you believe this kind of fucking shit that we watched today from that guy or any of those kinds of channels, you're an idiot. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. God have mercy on your soul.